Can a finite human being cleave to an infinite God? A verse in this week's Parsha, Parshat Re'eh, reads, "You shall follow Hashem your God. Fear Him. Keep His mitzvot. Heed His voice. Serve Him and cleave to Him." How does one cleave to God? Rashi says, cleave to His ways, bestow kindness, bury the dead, and visit the sick, just as Hashem did. The verse mentions several aspects in our connection to Hashem, from the lowest level of connection to the highest. You shall follow Hashem your God, fear Him, keep His mitzvot, heed His voice, serve Him, and cleave to Him. In the order of the verse, first it speaks about fulfilling the mitzvot, and then about cleaving to God, showing that the connection of cleaving to God through following in God's ways with acts of kindness is a greater connection than the connection established through fulfilling His will in the mitzvot. But mitzvah comes from the word safta, which means connection. Every time we do a mitzvah and fulfill God's will, we are establishing a real meaningful connection. Every mitzvah establishes this connection. Yet, by putting cleaving to God after the mitzvah, the verse is showing us that cleaving is an even greater connection. What connection can there be that is greater than connecting to our Creator through fulfilling His will? The Rebbe explains, when I do a mitzvah, there is an I connecting to the one who gave the mitzvah. But when I act as God acts, it is not I performing God's will, but rather I am acting like God does. I am acting like God acts. This is the connection that is referred to in the verse as cleaving to God. That is, acting as God acts and doing what God does. Of course, all of the mitzvot begin by fulfilling God's will. But the ultimate is, instead of following God's instructions, I am acting as He acts, instinctively, sensing, and doing what God does. Shabbat Shalom.